Hello, my dear Aries. This is your love and spirituality reading for the time between December the 1st to December 15, 2016, with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So I will start shuffling your cards and tell you that December 14, we will have the last of the 3 supermoons for 2016. This moon is also known as the full cold moon and the full long night's moon, and as the moon before June. Jewel being the midwinter solstice. December 13 to 14, there will also be a visible meteor shower in the sky called the Gemini's meteor shower. It is considered to be the most powerful meteor shower, but will be damped by the full supermoon this year. But I think it will be spectacular with both the falling stars and the supermoon. So I call the divine with love and light, and I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and I call the 6 elements, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading regarding Aries' love life. I want my dear Aries to have love in their life. I also want you to have creative success and to find yourself walking on the highest path towards your highest destiny, so you will fulfill why you are here on this earth at this time. Okay, so it's ready. I'll just tune in a little bit. Okay, so this is your future, and this is your now, and this is the past. The now is probably the first half of December 2016, but whenever you watch this is probably the exact right time to see it. Okay, so the first card for you is 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups is a longing, it's a nostalgia. It's a memory sometimes of a time that was really beautiful and where you were really happy. It might be when you were young or when you were a child. It might also be like a longing for something that you even don't remember, because this is both the childhood card and the past life card and a healing card. We see those 2 children here playing really nicely with one another, being very relaxed and in kind of trust. They have trust and they are sharing beautifully, and they are playing this game together. It's a very beautiful exchange of energy. And we also have the divine here in the form of the source energy. And so this is a card about reconciliation, getting second chances, and meeting someone from the past which you have missed, or maybe understanding the importance of a certain situation or person. So we'll see where this goes. It can be that you have met someone or maybe got along with someone again. And here we have the moon card, and the moon card might be the fear that kind of separated you from this state of trust and worthiness in the first place. The moon is also a past life card. It's about past life, but it's often about past life trauma, like how these roots of the tree goes down in the earth through many layers of human existence, and this is having the attention lit up, the willpower to actually face the dangers. So this can be nightmares, it can be fears, it can be fear of change, it can be fear of betrayal, fear of persons leaving, fear of whatever your kind of fear is. The fear is not coming from nowhere. It's coming from probably a past trauma that kind of throwed you out of this state. This is pointing to healing, that kind of trauma. And this is kind of that situation when you are brave enough to start facing it, facing your illusions, facing your how you kind of paint the reality in much more beautiful colors than it is, kind of seeing through your own illusions. We are often telling people that they need to be positive, but they can't be positive and having illusions. It's not the same thing. You need to see your situation fully clearly how it is, like really how it is, and might have a goal for what you want to have. And if you are seeing that something is not really like looking like this picture, it's kind of out of, you don't want this, then you need to start changing it. And this is what this girl is doing. She's going back to that thing, really looking upon this illusion, like how she has been fooling herself, or how she have been living under certain kind of circumstances that haven't been really great, or how her trauma has repeatedly throughout her life caused the same kind of a breakdown of maybe relationships or beautiful situation which she actually wanted to have preserved. So this is kind of being in the primordial swamp, like the original wound where it all happened, and trying to find out what's going on. And it seems hard to do this. How will you even remember? But you don't need to remember. You just need to stay with the pain and kind of sort out what you are feeling and how you want to feel, and what's causing you to kind of preventing you from feeling the way that you want to feel, and stay with it. Put it a lot of attention, because what it is, it's you being traumatized, like this little child. Imagine that someone like kind of land here and kill all the people in this house. It will be a trauma, a great trauma for those children. So what you need to do is kind of have attention with those children and what they want to tell you about what happened. This is what you need to do. Just stay with this this pain that's inside of you from this this trauma that happened to those beautiful children here. So this is the thing that you need to do. You have wolves here. Wolves are symbols for our ancestors, the one that passed before us but still around us, kind of our pack, who the persons with which we came from. And they might have a lot of clues, because we are often repeating our ancestors' mistakes over and over again. So if you have had a parent that were abusive in some way, you might abuse yourself, or you might abuse others. And this might have going back like, thousands of years in the same family, the same kind of thing. And it's you being the hero here, and in the position to actually release both yourself and your ancestors from this kind of trauma and this kind of karma, because this is what trauma is. It's karma. And the one isn't going without the other. So often we think karma is something that we have done to someone else that's haunting us, but that's not often the case. Often it's how we have been hurt by ourselves or others that's kind of haunting us, making us play out the same kind of drama over and over again until we can get it healed. So the next card for you is Queen of Wands, and that's of course you. Woman or man, facing this, being very brave. And this is a person that has lived many lifetimes, and therefore have a lot of experience, but also a lot of traumas, of course. But it's a lot of bravery with this, and an openness and a willingness to solve problems. Those two cards together, it's very witchy kind of feeling. And so I think you have a lot of, this is a bit in the past maybe for some of you. So you might have like a lot of prophetic dreams, or being very in tune with what's going to happen before it happens, and you might have got memories also from past life. And it might be a good idea to write things like this down, because you will get like small pieces of the puzzles all the time. And if you are kind of writing it down and then month later going back and read what you have written, you might have a very much whole picture of what's really going on. So write down those clues. It seems like you're kind of the hero in this picture. Before you might have been burned on the stake, but this time I think these skills are really going to be useful for you. And as I said, also for people around you, because you're not just healing yourself, you're healing everyone around you. So this is a very positive omen, even if it looks a bit witchy here. And the next card is Four of Swords. So Four of Swords, you see this, her dress is kind of getting a bit more pale here, and it's not the red that was in the former picture, it's purple. So it's showing me here that you are going to go through this, and it's going to waste a lot of your energy. You are going to feel very drained, and like your life has become boring, and like you don't have so much happy things around you. It's just like this ongoing trauma adventure all the time. So this is a person being a bit tired, and I urge you to take this work seriously, because it's going to drain you, and it's going to make you really tired. And it's like you being a black hole sucking in all these bad things that have happened to you and your ancestors, and you are going to release it through this black hole, and it's going to become light again. But you are kind of a vacuum cleaner here. This is a big job. It's not to take lightly. So if you're wondering like why your everyday life isn't working, why you might have health issues, and it's hard to go to work, it's hard to wake up in the morning, well, the explanation is you are kind of vacuum cleaning out thousands of years of karma. So don't take this lightly. And it's the purple is for spiritual connection. The red here is more like very primordial. It's blood, it's this ancestor thing, this kind of your relations, what have happened to you, things in the past, things that's it's a warmth with this also, you being a hero and all for all your ancestors. So don't think that you are going to die. You are just a bit swamped with spiritual work at the moment here. So next card for you is Four of Cups. So Four of Cups is a person you see that's kind of crossing their arms over the heart chakra. So it might be too much for you at times. Like you don't want to open this well of things, and it might also make you remember things that you wanted to forget, because those memories didn't make you happy, and now they are there and they are not making you happy, and they are kind of making you fearful that this will happen again. But the good thing is that this is not it's not here to remind you of trauma so you will be sad. It's here to remind you of trauma so you can release it, much like the water that's flowing here. And the divine is here in form of a mermaid. Mermaids is for emotions. And she's kind of trying to make you feel your emotion, even though they are hurtful. So don't think that you are going crazy. Don't think that you are like getting sick or having cancer or whatever, because you are so tired and drained, and you don't. It's almost like you're losing a bit of your spirit or happiness or will to live sometimes even. So take it calmly, because it, as I said, this is not a thing to take lightly. You are doing this for all our ancestors. It's time now, because Earth needs to be not a karmic planet anymore. We are going to ascend up to more high, loving, happy energies. So we don't want to take this with us. We are going to do other things now. We don't need to repeat our ancestors' mistakes or carrying their burden anymore. And they are here and trying to do the best they can to help you also, because from where they are now, when they have kind of ascended themselves, being your ancestors and all, they aren't like they were before. Even if you had like a mother being really narcissistic or a dad being abusive or whatever, they are not like that. They were like this when they were in this heavy energy, and you are the hero going to release it. So don't burden yourself with feelings of being like worthless or not lovable or things like this when you are kind of reviewing all the things that have happened. They are not telling anything about you. They are just telling about Earth's history, your ancestors' history, the karma that has run through your family, and that's you are going to release. Aries is the head. You are kind of the first sign that came. So of course you will have more memories as well. And but it's time now to release it. This is the Four of Pentacles. It's a lot of force, and four is kind of, I don't want to do this. I don't want to change. I don't want to release anything. This is a person with constipation. It's the miser. I want to keep things. So maybe you have got used to your wounds as well, because we had a lot of force here. So you might have got comfortable with them, and you had them to blame on all the things going wrong in your life, because my father was like this, or I was brought up like this, and well, I was, yeah, the victim stories here, and they might be precious to you because they might have made up your whole identity. And but the force is also good, I think. I think through all this havoc, feeling tired, feeling drained, feeling like your reality is like kind of falling into pieces. I think this is good. You are going to survive this by creating like kind of stability for yourself during this process. Maybe your stability is going to be a lot of old survival strategies, so they might both hinder you and help you, because you can't release it all at once, and maybe you need to sulk for a moment or think that life is unfair, or that you don't want to change and things like this. And here we have the ultimate four. It's the Emperor, and it's Aries, and it's coming underneath the moon. It's like a point of change, going from being a person that has a lot of survival strategies, a lot of principles, a lot of things. This is how I want it, and this is who things is. I know, I'm in the know, I'm the only one that knows this, being like this, and going from that and kind of realizing where it all comes from, and then becoming the true emperor, like the true Aries person, that being able to see all this and kind of taking it as an adult person, being able to take responsibility for yourself, for others, for your creation, for your kingdom, being the bigger person, being the person that's kind of can heighten themselves over all this, all their old survival strategies. It's kind of a new masculinity, if you want to say. It's kind of Aries is a very masculine card about leadership and rule and things like this. So it might be a new masculinity, not being there always for yourself, but kind of sharing this, what you know, for others, and being the true hero here. So I think this is a very good card, but force is very, it's a bit unusual. So keep that in mind with the force. Four is stability, but it's also like kind of structures that doesn't want to go, that wants to be like untainted. But we see here that it's children in both those cards. So I think this survival strategy is how you have been trying to take care of your inner children through all this trauma. You have tried to survive, and now you're still surviving, but you are kind of changing into having a lot of survival strategies and a lot of like protection, and instead being a person that's adult and just like, well, okay, I see my own faults, and I'm willing to change because I'm willing to take responsibility, and I'm also willing to be like a good person, being a good person for others, and you don't need to protect yourself against people that love you, or people that kind of wants to be protected by you. And here we have a Nine of Pentacles. And it comes, it's this person here with the brown, and here we have the yellow. I think they are very much like the same person here, and it's a lot of abundance here. She has created all of this, and she has this kind of fog eye, and also the dress is very abundant, and she's pregnant here. And we have the cat there, and this person is very self-sufficient. So I think this is you. You're kind of creating a calm place inside of you, from which you can rule, from which you can be a person that's adult and calm, and doesn't have like sometimes this girl is getting like rage fits and being really angry, but she's not supposed to have her emotions inside. But maybe you are getting more like adult, so you can say, okay, you are making me really angry, instead of throwing something. So this is like creating an inner paradise from which you can rule, from which you can be the kind of person that you want to be. And it's a very beautiful thing. It's self-love. So I think you have much to be proud over right now, Aries. It seems like you have done a lot of work and a lot of like heroic actions here. It might have been really scary and it might have drained you really much, but it seems like it has gotten you to like where you are so tired that you can't resist it anymore, and you're kind of getting calm and rising yourself like in an adulthood, like not having rage rampers or victimize yourself. You're just calm. It looks very, very peaceful. Underneath the Four of Swords, we have a Five of Swords, and I think this is like humiliation. You feel like when you remember all the things that have happened to you, and you remember how this hurt and what that can have meant for the love that those persons or had for you, you might feel very humiliated and like, what's wrong with me? Why couldn't they treat me better? So Five of Swords is a bit self-hate. So it's the opposite of Nine of Pentacles. So I think you will have to deal with this to kind of clean out your inner space. You need to know that you don't need to be perfect. And what other people did to you is saying nothing about you. It's saying all about them and their traumas and karma, but it's not saying so much about you, especially when you were a child. You couldn't take this position of being calm and adult because you weren't. You were the child. They were supposed to take care of you. But instead, it seemed like they might have targeted you. But don't turn this into self-hate, or don't turn this into targeting others. We will go on with this. We'll see more what it can be here. Here comes an Eight of Wands. So Eight of Wands is a very beautiful energy that kind of wants to resolve things. It's kind of those moments when you are saying to someone, I'm sorry, and they say, I'm sorry too. So it's something with this that you need to do this to yourself, I think, because we see it's the same pattern here. It doesn't have to be like swords of accusation against this beautiful dragonfly. The dragonfly is a very spiritual symbol. It can be instead support that I think you need to change your mind. You need to change your thoughts because you are thinking in a way that's kind of hurting you. And this is a display shows me that you need to think in a way that's kind of supporting you. This is like, this is what I want. This is what I hope for. This is what I'm going to aim for. And this is like, I will never succeed. They hate me. I will never be able to change. Things like this going. So there needs to be a shift of your consciousness for you to be able to thrive and create something better for yourself, something that's worth having, instead of like creating the same kind of not so wanted situation over and over again, which we are doing because our thoughts becomes the house we live in. So if we always think that they are going to betray me, this is going to be boring, this is going to be heavy, this is those person is not doing things right, or she's not loving me, he's not loving me, whatever is going on, it's going to create this thing, what you fear, because it's going to make you tense, and it's going to make you act towards other people like they don't love you, so they will feel attacked and react with they don't love you. So you need to have more positive thoughts. Write this down also. If you're kind of thinking a lot that he did this, she did so and so, she said that, this was what happened to me, kind of write something better instead. Kind of write the good things that you remember from this. It cannot all have been bad. And also try to choose hope instead of hopelessness. Write down what you hope will happen. A lot of hopes in in a diary can help you to turn this around, because you need to practice on not thinking bad thoughts all the time. When you have done all this cleaning, nothing is going to help if you are still thinking the same thoughts. Then you are still going to create the same thing. And then we have karma again. So try to be awake here. Okay, this is the future. And here we have a King of Swords. Yes, master of your mind. Beautiful. And it's the Falcon again, being able to create this beautiful paradise inside for yourself. You need to be able to see what's going on. You need to be able to be very clear with your mind, not creating a hell on earth in your head. This is going to need to stop, because this is how you are hurting yourself, I see, with this. And it's the yellow that you have with those heroes person here that's really trying hard to fix this. It's still on. I want a better future for myself. I want more happiness. You are going to create this for yourself. This is kind of centering in self-love. It doesn't have to be, self-love is not egocentric. It's you need to have this relationship with yourself always. So you need to love yourself and support yourself and understand yourself and know your wants and needs and what you want to create and align yourself with that. Don't be your worst enemy. This is a grown-up person taking responsibility for their thoughts, having a clear mind, being able to sort with bad thoughts and good thoughts. So mastering your thoughts to make a better future. And here's the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is a person of utterly self-respect. So you are going to create a protection for yourself that's not something much more greater than those petty force. And I don't mean the Emperor, but this other force. You are going to create a clear mind and utter self-respect. You're going to know why you want certain things and why you are feeling in certain ways, and you're going to be very like impulsive with saying like, this is how I want things, because you're not going to second guess yourself anymore, because you love yourself and you align yourself with yourself. So this is self-respect and taking control over the positive outcome of your life. This is a person that thinks they are worthy, that thinks that they are also in contact with the divine on a very beautiful way. He has his sword lifted up like this, and she is kind of hanging on him. She's manifested, but still not. So it's almost like a goddess, this one, and all the moons here. And you also went to the moon here with this emperor here. So it's something to be proud over, like how you bravely took yourself through all this and came out like on the other side with this self-love and self-respect. So it's very good. Aries, it's very much about being an adult, self-respect, not being a victim anymore, being very calm, not being a martyr, being very like clear with things, and not thinking that you're a victim to others' behavior, but that you're actually creating your reality on your own. Here we have an Eight of Swords. So Eight of Swords can be sometimes longing for someone. You might want to like be rid of it. Please go away. I don't want to think of you anymore. But it seems it's an 8, so it's a bit persistent. And sometimes it's also all those opinions that people have had upon you, and how you have continued having those opinions upon yourself and blindfolded yourself by this, and therefore not being able to reach this castle with it, which is the self-love, this beautiful paradise here. So it's things that need to be seen. You need to take off this blindfold and need to be able to see what you are thinking about yourself and how you are restricting yourself, how you are putting rules for yourself for how you can behave or not behave. And so it's a lot of things. It's a lot of programming here that's still there from other people that you are kind of using in your everyday life that you need to be aware of, because this is keeping you limited and you're an unlimitless soul. It's kind of you folding your wings together to be able to fit here, and you need to be in your full spirit glow. It's a rather beautiful card anyway. It's kind of you thinking out a lot of problems for yourself that doesn't need to be there, like, well, they are thinking like this towards me, or I said that, oh my god, what are they going to think? A lot of those kinds of things. That's always all that you're just creating for yourself without any use. It's kind of self you're trying to kind of fix yourself or raise yourself or judge yourself a little bit for everything you do. So you have a little voice there that's kind of need to go. Okay, the next card is Ace of Wands, and this is the thing that you used to get out, to get through and to see all this pain, and you can still have this attention that you used to walk through this nightmare thing with very much braveness and self-respect. And so you have a memory of trial by fire, of death and metamorphosis, and this is a very powerful card. With it's a new beginning, and it's a new dawn. So you don't need to be anything of the person that you were. You can create yourself anew for every moment, like the High Priestess being a bit impulsive, like she's just taking the information from the divine and being that soul on earth, untainted, without those restrictions. I think those restrictions is kind of keeping you from being the profound soul that you are. But here comes this card. It's surrounded by this your thoughts that's kind of maybe not the best ones, but they are showing me that your spirit will prevail. With time, your spirit will win over this conditioning that you have experienced, and that you are kind of still going on but against yourself. You are doing the same thing that teachers or parents might have done to you earlier, but it needs to go. This is you, purely you, deciding what you want with your life, how you want to create it, and you are doing it like now, like every second. You don't need to remember anything about your past life. You just need to be in the now, and that comes from pain as well. Even if it comes from past life, you can be in it now. Okay, so it's much less burdensome with this if you can not carry all the world on your shoulder in the now. So here we have the Chariot, and this is, of course, this is the black and white that we had with the High Priestess, and it's the king there, King of Swords, sitting in this chariot. So this is you being in full control of yourself, being yourself, and therefore being able to reach to heavens. You can come from the clouds and reach to the stars. Whatever you want is now possible because you have your full soul energy here. And you can leave the past behind. The past is the past. This is something new. And it's a very energetic new now. It's very powerful. So you can create whatever you want. You don't need to recreate your past. You can create something new, but you need to purify your thoughts. That's very important. It's very emphasized here with purifying thoughts, purifying thoughts, purifying thoughts. And then you can create whatever you want instead of creating what you don't want. So very, very beautiful, Aries. So I'll see with the past life oracle cards here, see what's going on a little bit more. Oh, Sacred Union and Lady of Lightning. Okay, so it might be a relationship or something that has been fueling this change within you, that you're kind of longing for some kind of reconciliation maybe, or being able to be in a relationship without all those past trauma. And this is the Lady of Lightning, and once she scared me, but she doesn't anymore. It surprises, sometimes shock, total paradigm shift. So things may change like really hasty, but even if it seems to be a bad thing on the surface, go with it. Because this energy is always promising a better tomorrow. It's always a support for you, just trying to kind of shock you out of something that you have been doing for eons maybe, and that you don't need to do anymore. And so it's almost like God's voice are striking you to the ground, and she is doing so because she wants you to see something and to kind of reboot you almost, so you will be able to make this new beginning instead of doing the same stupid thing over and over again. So this is surprises, sometimes shock, total paradigm shift. Something needs to go, I think, the thoughts. So a little electric shock, but I think this is the thing that you are kind of wanting and kind of aiming for. And those things where you kind of have it can be sometimes big quarrels or whatever, something that's kind of is very stressful or painful. Go with it, because and try to open up to it, because it's probably something that wants to help you. It's when you're going the wrong direction sometimes. Heaven needs to kind of flip your car over in a dream sense of way. When you dream that your car is flipped over, that's when when they kind of want you to see from another perspective things, and maybe you were going too hasty or in the wrong direction. Past life oracle card for Aries. Okay. So you have been an orphan for a long while, a traumatized child that didn't have any parent, and now you have become their parent. You are the one responsible for this child now. And ships is, of course, relationships. It's how we move together with others over water, over emotions. So as I said before, I think the relationship is going to be the thing that fuels you to actually take responsibility for this inner child. So you don't need to be like a traumatized person anymore, going around making the same kind of mistakes. Now you are going to be a free person, and you are going to give love to this person by your own, by you being an adult, taking responsibility for you, trying to make your life more happy, and trying to maybe get in more people in your life. Because I think that you will be much more happy with people around you. Okay, so this can be important. So, okay, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the middle of December. Take really good care. Okay, bye-bye.